Tom gave me a pair of these Speedy's boom tubes. He said he really wanted to see them on the truck. I gotta admit, they are some of the nicest exhaust I've ever seen made. So naturally, let's cut them up, cut them into pieces, and ruin them. No. Wait. Sometimes you just have to make a roof for a truck out of your donor chassis hood. Just cut it up a lot and see what happens. Just another thing to do a thing to try and finish another thing, if that makes sense.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, ow. We're gonna have to fix this thing now. That's bad. Richard, you're gonna have to edit a lot of fucking cuts in here, but do it for me. Ouch. You clicked on the video, you know what we're working on, baby. We're back on the Fscalade. We haven't left. That's kind of a problem because I have other stuff that needs done, but we're here for now. In the last video, I took this baby for her proper drive. Everything is working, everything is cooling like it should. I got 90% of all of the Cadillac crap stuffed into the Ford engine compartment. Basically, I had to make everything from scratch. It was not fun, but it is running and driving like a normal truck. Now, granted, there's still a couple things that need done. The fact that you can see through the cab, still need to put a roof on it. Stuff like that's pretty important, but the most annoying thing, whenever I took it for this big drive, I put a couple miles on it, was the exhaust. The exhaust is just cut off right now, and it's cut off about right there in the middle of the floor, so it just kind of wants to shoot up the back of the cab. It stinks, it's not fun, it's ungodly loud. I have to have headphones in, so I got all new exhaust for it that we're gonna have to make from scratch, but it's gonna be a good time. If you can see all the random bins I have, I think I bought 200 foot of 3-inch exhaust, a couple mufflers, an exhaust cutout kit. We're gonna make something happen. Also, funny story, my Friday video just went up a couple hours ago and somebody messaged me and said, or commented, said, Casey, did you ever fix the rear spring that was out of the pocket? I went, oh, I completely forgot about that until I read this comment. Well, check it out. It used to be kind of off center a little bit. It's completely out of the pocket now. So whenever we jack it up to get under it for the exhaust, we definitely need to deal with that. That would have been real bad if it fell off and the ass into the truck to start dragging. Or it would have been fun, who knows? Let's get to work. Looks like you didn't hit the subscribe button or the like. Get your shit together. Subscribe to the channel! I haven't even got to jack the truck up to get to the exhaust because I've been playing with the hood. I wanted to put the hood on. I'm tired of it sitting around. It actually hasn't been bolted back up since I cut the living hell out of the firewall, so I was worried that we might need to do some more fitting. It's actually fitting good. It's got a little bit of a weird gap over here, and that is from the corner that we cut out, which we knew that already. I just have to make a little brace that will tie into the hood hinge, because these not only bolt on the face of the firewall, they bolt in on the side of it too. See right there? So that bolt there keeps it from wanting to walk on you, basically just when you're opening and closing it. Once it's closed, these are fine, but that one kind of gives it some strength, not going too far open, too far closed. And that side, since we cut that out, I don't have that anymore, so I'll need to weld a plate there, but that's okay. I also wanted to put it on because we're going to start figuring out our air intake. I thought I was going to make a custom one. I thought I had more room up here. I thought I had 3 or 4 inches above the radiator, and I was going to do like a ram air type intake, make it from scratch. There is not that much room up here at all. It's barely above the radiator when you shut the hood. Gonna have to come up with something else. We might try and sneak it down here, go down and then pop out right here. I don't know what I don't know what plan B is, honestly. Or we or we do something. I could technically drill it out behind the front tire. It would technically work where it's at. It's just not great for air. I always like, you want them to get fresh air from somewhere. This technically, it would get fresh air, but the tire's gonna stir up a lot of it. It's not gonna bring it any, it's gonna pull it from it. So we gotta figure something out, but that's down the line shit. But it's always good to think about, because sometimes you need to order a part, and if you need a funky bend, this is all 4-inch tubing. Let me tell you, if you need 4-inch tubing, you got to order it, because there isn't anybody around here that sells it. So it's always order and wait on it type shit. But I don't know, we could maybe sneak something down there. I'm not sure. It'd be tight. We could also run a different radiator hose. This was the stock caddy one. And I'm trying to reuse all the caddy shit that I can, but I could go with like a hard style that just goes right against the radiator and then over, and that would give me a little more room, but it's still not a ton down there. I don't know. That's a problem for a different day. Let's finally jack it up, start figuring out what the hell we're gonna do with the exhaust. Jacked it up, put the jacks on the frame, not the suspension, because I wanted to try and wiggle that spring out, and it fell out. I thought the shocks would keep those in, but apparently not. They're so low that, yeah, they just fall out. So that makes that easier. We're definitely going to have to address that. I bet the shocks are too tall if I had to guess. Maybe not, I'm not sure. What we might do while we have it up is take the springs and shocks off and just see how low she can get without anything in there. Maybe we replace it with airbags. I don't know. I got too much shit going on, too much stuff going on, but it would be a good idea. Okay, let's keep working. All right, she's jacked up, looking good. Ready to start figuring out what the hell we're going to do with this puzzle. This is my electric exhaust cutout. What you do with this, you hit a button, and instead of shooting your exhaust down the muffler, it's a straight pipe. Bang, bang, pop, 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 pop. Sounds amazing, but if you drive them enough, you don't want to listen to that all the time. So hit a button again, boom, goes back through the muffler. Very sweet setup. I love these. I've ran them a bunch of times. Not this style, but I kind of like this style, so we'll see. Now, before we start putting this puzzle together, I have no idea what I want to do this, how I want to do this, where it's going to go yet. But before I do any of that, I got to clean all this shit, because exhaust pipe, doesn't matter if you get stainless, regular, whatever, it is coated in oil, a lot of oil. And they do that so it doesn't rust, and it is a bitch to work with. And you want to clean it all off really good before you weld it, because your welds, they will still work. They just don't work very good. They will look shitty. You have to run extra heat. It just doesn't want to grab to oil, obviously. So I got to wipe all these down with brake clean, and then we're going to start figuring it out. So the headers that Tom put on here are a 2-in-1 style. It's really cool. I like it, but I think from the factory it was duals all the way back. We don't have much room on the driver's side. Right now it all comes to the passenger. Goes in 2-into-1. It's a giant 3-inch though, so it's plenty of exhaust. It's not really restrictive at all. But what I think I want to do, I'm not sure. I also have a regular muffler. What I think I want to do is go from 1 back to 2. This is a single to dual muffler. They're baffled so that you can go out to and you won't lose any sound. Some of these 2-into-1s, if you'll see them, they're offset. This will be here to the side. I don't like those ones as much. It seems like one side just shoots straight through. Whenever they're in the middle, it has to bounce around and go through both sides equally. So I like those a little bit better. But we obviously have to put this on there first. This way. I believe that way. Would it be that way? Yeah, it'd be that way. And then this will shoot out somewhere to a dump. Is it that way or is it the other way? I don't know. It has to be that way, yeah, because, yeah. Anyways, sorry, thinking out loud. But yeah, we got to get all this wiped down, and then we got to figure out how we want to do this. Most likely, I will have to put a little spacer in there so I have more room to have this dump. I also don't know exactly where I want it to dump yet. You can hide it. You can show it off. I don't know. I probably will hide the dump just because you're going to see the duals out the back, most likely. I still don't even know where any of this is going yet. I usually like to have the exhaust come out in front of the rear tires. I think it looks cooler that way. So maybe we do that. I don't know. We're going to get up there and start figuring it out. I'll get the camera under there and show you. But before we do any of that, I got to spend 20 minutes and clean all this shit off. You got to really stroke the rod, the pipe, the tube. Clean the exhaust tube. Okay. All right, I'm working. By the way, for reference, that was one piece. That's how much shit came off. So bad. All right, let's keep going. I bought one of these butthole stretchers. Apparently they are for bedroom activities only, it says on here. It also said if you use the bigger sizes, seek medical attention. So that's not good, but I'm not using it for that. Not right now anyway. I'm using it for exhaust stretching. I've never actually used one of these. I've used the hydraulic ones at exhaust shop, but I've never used one of these little guys. I don't want to explode the whole thing. I just want to open up the end a little bit so I can slide this over. I can butt it up and weld it, but boy, it'd be easier if it just slid in a little bit. So let's see what happens. Does it spin on its own? Ooh. Now, will it work if I only do it a little bit? I don't know. Let's find out together. Oh, yeah, there it goes. I think that's good. Wow. Maybe, I don't know. Holy crap. Yes. Wow. Perfect. $20 butthole stretcher. Works for exhaust as well. Oh, that is great. I love that. Oh, it's crooked as hell. Ha! All right, let's go weld some shit. Okay, we're off to a good start. This is our dump. This is going to go to the muffler. Air compressor kicks on. Just tacking it for now because I want to make sure everything fits. And then a lot of this, I'm going to make it clamp on so that we can take it off and weld it. And also, if we ever need to take it out, you won't have to take out a 30-foot piece all in one. 2 30-foot pieces, actually, because we're running duals. I already know this needs cut down. And then I'm going to have another one going out that way. Okay, ran into a problem. One, I thought this was a kit that Tom bought to go 2-into-1 over here. I'm almost certain that's factory Cadillac. I think it had to do that from the kit because I don't see any way there was an exhaust on that side, on the driver's side, unless it was way below the gas tank and didn't go over the rear end, which they always do. So that doesn't make sense. Also, the bracket and shit is in the way and the gas tank, so it has to be over here. So my 2-into-1 situation isn't going to work. Second problem, because this rear end is lowered already, even if we bag it, it's going to get much worse. Already, I can't get a tube under here. There's just no way. Nothing fits. We're going to have to do exhaust in front of the tire, especially if we bag it, because then there's just going to be nothing back there. So we need to make a 2-into-1 back into a 1-into-1. Now, how do you do that? Well, if it's some of them, you can't do it, but check this out. After that splits into one, it does a V and then goes back into a giant single. So we could cap these and just put a single here. It would still work. We could also do some sort of a funky thing to make it into one, and we'll lie and tell people you do it for performance advance because volume of the molecules, and you gain like 25 horsepower. So we could do that as well. I do have a bunch of random cuts. I just had one a second ago. Oh, there it is. So we do that and then tie it in. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to definitely have to turn this into a single. I could easily buy another one, but I already have this one, and I don't do many 1-into-2s, so there's no point of just having it around. We might as well modify it. I don't know how I want to modify it yet. Might go 2-into-1, and then we will have our dump. No muffler. Go right there, straight out, kind of here somewhere. I don't think I'm going to show that. I think it'll just be kind of hidden. And then my other one, I'm going to put right here in front of the tire. And I do want to show that. Boy, that is just a rusty hunk of shit. The only problem is the trailing arms are kind of in the way, so we might have to snake it or do a funky angle. We'll do something. There's really cool stainless exhaust kits, or trim kits, I call them, you can put. They look really cool, so we might do something like that later. But for now, we'll just cut a giant hole. So yeah, let's keep going. We're going to have to make a 2-into-1 back into a 1-into-1. I don't know, let's figure it out. We're going to do something. Look at this contraption we made. It's upside down right now, but there is our exhaust dump. And I cut this so it's about that far from the frame. Goes right underneath, shoots out. Not all the way to the bed, but pretty damn close to it. Got the muffler converted back to a single. Looks great. Like I said, I did that because when you go from a 1 to a 2 back into 1, the Venturi effect plus the molecule and the E equals MC squared of the vortex, I think it adds like 60 horsepower. So that's why I did it. A lot of people don't know that trick. A lot of people try and gatekeep their hot rod stuff for high horsepower. You know, race guys, they got their little tips and tricks, but I'll show you guys because it's a YouTube channel. I want to help you guys out and be informative as well as exciting to watch. That's completely bullshit. I have no idea what I'm doing. Really should have just got a single, but hey, we had to use some shit we had. I still have so much freaking exhaust left, but that should sound pretty bitchin', which I'm okay with. Boom, 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 back, and then this. I just welded this whole thing solid. It is so hot. You have no idea. I can't even touch it. It's probably going to take 30 minutes, so I'm calling it a night. This comes out to about right here, so we will most likely have to trim it back a little bit, and then we will do a boom out to the bedside that still needs mounted to the frame. I don't know if I'm going to do a 90 and then come straight over. What I might do is do like a 45 and then a straight shot, so it's kind of angled. If you do them when they're angled, instead of, let me show you. I did this on my Suburban. I don't know if you watched it or not, but the 81 Suburban, we did this. So if you have it coming straight out as a 90, it just looks like an exhaust tube, which is cool, looks great. But if you have them coming out at like a 45, whenever you cut this, you get this giant oval look. That looks really cool. I might end up going with just a regular circle. I don't know. I'm going to probably get online tonight and see what kind of stainless steel teardrop looking thing I can buy for it, because I might just end up doing that. I don't know. I'm going to check tonight while I'm looking. But the good news is we are 90% done with the exhaust. I thought I had some exhaust hangers, but I don't, so I might grab some of them at the parts store tomorrow. What's cool is I have a factory hanger rod, I guess you would say, right there. So that would work great. Just have a little rubber bushing, boom, boom. Easy peasy. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. This took not as long as I thought, but it was still basically a full day for this weird contraption. All right, we'll be back.
The next day.
We are back. I got my exhaust contraption sitting up there, and I'll be honest with you, I might be able to get this to go over the rear end. I was kind of using some bends to see. There is a big cutout right there for where the stock exhaust went. The only problem is I don't know how high that rear end is going to go up if we bag it. So what I'm going to do before I weld anything, also this is just sitting in here, it'll move. I'm going to pull the springs out, jack it up, see how high that rear end goes before it starts hitting stuff. I have a feeling it's going to hit that air box or whatever in the hell that stupid thing is before it hits anything else. It shouldn't be able to go higher than that pocket at the very least. And airbags with their brackets are usually around 4 to 5 inches. Let's pop them out and see what it looks like. Come on. All right, I got the springs out. I got it basically where it's going to be with airbags. And I have room. We're going to have to do some crazy snake shit to get it over there, which I'm not happy about. But I would like to get it all the way back if I can. It's better than a one-sided dump. Also, one-sided dump. If I get it out there, look at all the room I have back there. I can turn it back into 2 if I want to, which I probably will. Or we do like one center. We got these to play with. We could do something. I don't know what, but we could do something. The only thing is, that angle isn't going to work, so we might have to cut these. Boy, that would be like sacrilegious to cut those, but it might look better. All right, let's start figuring out this pain in the ass puzzle we got here. Let's go. All right, I realized I didn't have the best camera angle, so I figured I'd stop and tell you what's going on. This is all welded and bolted in past the axle. That one right there is just sitting there for now, but I have a slip joint, whatever the hell they call it. Basically an exhaust clamp there and an exhaust clamp at the very front, so you can take this out. Because if I do it all in one piece, it's basically impossible to take out. Nothing should need taken out now because everything is welded fully all the way up to here. And then now we're working on the back. I also got a hanger installed right there on my dump. Not going anywhere. Very happy about that. Still have to put more hangers in, but I wanted to make sure the whole exhaust system wasn't just on the edge of the headers, because that's never good when that happens. I'll end up putting one right here as well to hold this up, not only so I can get it up as high as I can without touching the frame, but the farther back you go, the more weight it has, obviously. But here's the situation. I am ready to start figuring out what we're gonna do for our exhaust back here. I want duals, so I'm gonna have to make some sort of a splitter, but I don't know if I want them under the bumper or through the bumper. So even though we're doing exhaust and trying to just get stuff buttoned up, we have to mount a bumper now, which is fun, but that's okay. Gotta do what you gotta do. Once we get the bumper up here, I can kind of get a look at it and see what the plan is. Do we cut a hole in the bumper, run it through the bumper? I always like doing that. Do we go under the bumper? I don't know. I won't know until I get it up there. And since this is not on a 64 Ford frame anymore, these brackets are damn near pointless. I think I can still use some of them. Maybe from here forward, cut this and then make my own mounts there. But I know these are going to get in the way of all kinds of stuff. Not only the angle iron we have for the back mount, but it would run into the Cadillac frame as well. So most likely we're going to have to cut these down, and then I'll weld something to these and then kind of have a jog in it and then tie it into the rear of the frame. This is heavy duty, let me tell you. Every time I cut up old bumper brackets, I hate my life because they are 3/8 inch thick, 1/2 inch thick, heavy duty shit. So yeah, I'm going to hold it up there with the jack. Right now the jack isn't even holding the rear end. I just had it, I was cycling it, trying to figure out where everything went with the springs out. But I'll put the jack up here, hold it, and we'll figure it out exactly where I need to cut these. And if we want to put a giant hole in these, I will probably do it with my plasma cutter and then clean it up. I might just plasma cut the mounts off too. I don't know. Well, let's get to it, see what happens. All right, I did the Casey thing and made this real difficult because I sucked it in. Bumpers usually stick out about 2.5 inches. I like them when they're pushed in. So I had to basically make everything from scratch, but it looks better. Oh crap, this is tricky. Oh, ow. God damn, that hit me right in the fucking mouth. Oh, there's no fucking chance I just f***ed my tooth. There's no fucking chance. I just chipped my goddamn tooth even worse than it was already chipped. I'm not even gonna show you, it looks so fucking bad. God damn it. We're gonna have to fix this thing now, that's bad. God damn it. I don't get mad on camera very often, I'm fucking pissed now. Richard, you're gonna have to edit a lot of fucking cuts in here, but do it for me. Get out of my goddamn way, piece of shit. Okay, bumper's mounted. Oh, god damn it. Tripping everywhere too. Let's keep going, I'm pissed. Alright, let me show you what we're working with. Crazy contraption. Took way too much fab work, but that's a different story. Got everything out to here. Everything is clear and everything. I still have to make a exhaust mount for the rear, but I already have it made. I just have to weld it on. As you can see, trimmed the bumper. Still have to trim that side, but booyah! Just like that. Flush mount exhaust. These things are heavy duty too. He really well made these. And I'm not saying that just to kiss ass either. God, I can't even pick it up with one hand. Check that out. Now, we're definitely not leaving it sticking out long like that, but it's going to look funny when we first put it up there. And then we will Give her the old whack job. Heyo! Sorry, it's getting late. This is way too much work. And the bumper added several hours, to say the least. Why is that not zooming out? Oh, it is zoomed out. I'm just so close to it because I'm up against the wall. All right, let's keep going, baby. I just wanted to get the exhaust done so I could pull it outside and finish my Blazer. But here's how my brain is broken. I'm looking at the rear bumper and I'm like, we can't not have the front bumper on now, right? And then if it's gonna sit outside for a week while I wait on parts, we should probably have a roof on it, right? I don't know. Also, people hate that I say roof instead of roof, but you know, whatever. Talking's hard. Roof. Actually, it doesn't matter. It's a hood. So, hood. Just going up there. All right, let's finish this shit. Okay. Right now, everything is held up. It's a jack stand. But I have my mounts made for these. I just have to weld them, and then we should be able to let the jack stand down and see what happens. Maybe. Hopefully. Probably. Can't really see very good right there. That's not the best weld, but... Oh, I'm gonna have to get underneath it, damn it. Oh, the sun's coming up. That's pretty. Okay. That one's done. Now this one. She is mounted. Welded, and what's cool, the mounts I made, I have adjustment in them. I can move them half an inch up and down, side to side. Let's see if this whole thing can hold itself up now. It should be able to. I actually made the mounts out of the half-inch bumper bracket that I cut off, so they're heavy duty. Oh, it came down a little bit, but not much. I still need to put a rubber gasket in between it so it has a little bit of play, but it's got a little bit of wiggle. Thank God we're cutting these because this one's actually out about 2 inches more. It all moved when I welded it. I had it perfect and I welded it, everything sucked in and then kind of tweaked that way a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to cut right across there. But I'm not doing it tonight. Exhaust is done and I hit my head and I chipped the shit out of my tooth. I don't even want to show you. It's worse than it was and it was already embarrassing before. Oh my God, how cool does that look? We're definitely going to trim them, but that looks hilarious right there. They're actually pretty damn square. Not too bad. They both angled down just a touch, but whenever we cut them flat, you won't see it as much. The reason I did that was I was worried if I went down and then straight out, the lowest part would be behind instead of back here, if that makes any sense. Right now, the lowest part is the very edge of the bumper. There's no way whenever we bag it, it's getting that low because we're not chopping the frame up or anything. But just in case, I don't like it when the exhaust hangs lower in the back. Sweet. It looks crazy. I don't hate it, but there's no way I'd keep it like that. I'm going to send a picture to Tom. Be like, hey, man, did I install these right? All right. Be back tomorrow. Get the freaking hood, roof, and maybe throw a front bumper on. Trim those, and then we have to start it, hear what it sounds like, and then hook up our exhaust cutout. I think it's just 2 wires, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. But the sun's up, so I'm going to bed now. Sweet.
The next day.
All right, I got some sleep, which is great. I've had my fun. I've taken a bunch of pictures of these. Sent them to Tom. I said, these should come with instructions. I feel like I installed them wrong. He just wrote back, that's awesome. I love it. So I feel kind of bad about that. I think he thought I was being serious. I was like, well, no, I was going to cut the living hell out of them, which I do feel bad about because they look great. But here's the thing. They're also built incredibly well. I'm cutting these off, but I'm keeping these because I think I could technically make something work with these tips because I love the angle. Just normally you have them coming out at the side, not straight back, obviously. So we're going to cut them, but we're going to keep them around for some other fun project. I got 3/4 inch tape all the way around the edge because I don't want them to stick out too far, but I also don't want them completely flush mounted to the bumper because then you kind of never see them. And when I cut this, I'm going to probably cut it back, I don't know, a little bit more from this just because I want to see what it looks like. Just in case I cut them 3/4 inch and then I feel like they're sunk in too much. That would suck because you can't really add it back. I mean, you can, but it would not be fun. So, yeah, I'm going to cut it a little bit in front of that line. We'll take a look at it. If it feels like it's sticking out too much, we'll grind or smooth. And then what I'll do here on the sides, after I get it where I want it, I'm going to have that taper to match the bumper. So it'll kind of go woohoo Woohoo, woohoo. All right, let's cut some shit. That thick stainless is hard on blades. Also, the blade just kind of goes wherever it wants to go. I kind of like it out a little bit farther. We got to clean up these edges, though. They are all over the place. Damn, how good is the tape on there? Shit. There we go. Yeah, I definitely think I like it sticking out a little bit more. I'm glad I cut it a little longer, but she's a wiggly cut. Let's clean it up. Check it out. Ha! I love it. I was going to take the baffles out, but I kind of like the way they look, actually. Very, very happy with how this is, how it came out. Way too much work. We definitely overdid it. I'm always a little extra anyway, but I love that. I can't tell you. Check it out. They are at the exact bottom of the bumper. Sweet. We are going to have to hook up our exhaust cutout and listen to it, see how it is. I also want to hear how that muffler sounds. And I decided I'm going to play with the front bumper. I don't know if I'm going to mount it or not. It is so bent and twisted. It has such a big twist in it, I literally think I'm going to have to cut it off and then adjust it because there's just no way to get a twist out of it. And I don't have a big torch anymore, so I have a little guy. And I'm just going to let him sit there and keep eating. Might never heat it up. Maybe he does. I don't know. We're going to let him just try his hardest because you know what? On this channel, doesn't matter what you think you can do or what you definitely can't do. You might as well give it a shot. So he's going to... Whoa, he moved when I was talking about him. Okay, my bad. Whoa. Take it easy, buddy. Didn't know you had feelings. Thought you were an inanimate object. Okay, we're going to let that keep going and hook up the exhaust cutout and see what happens. Well, bad news. My little remote isn't working. It didn't come with a battery, but luckily I went down to my other shop and found a battery. Still not working. I might have to hotwire the cutout until they send me a new remote. Either way, we can start it and see what it sounds like with the mufflers on, and then I'll see if I can hotwire it. I don't know if I can. I'm so anxious to see what it sounds like, though. Let's find out together. Usually I put my mic on. I'm going to leave my mic off and put the camera back here so you can hear it better. Let's do that. All right, let's see what she sounds like. Exhaust cutout works perfect. It's in neutral right now, and it doesn't like neutral. All right, let me switch it back to the mufflers. Cutout works perfect. Oh man, that makes me happy. That sounds so freaking good. All right, sweet. Let's play with the bumper real quick. This thing is in such a twist. Not only did I cut it off, I had to weld a pipe to it to try and get it to kind of spin. Not really working either. Ooh, maybe it is. Ooh, that's not bad. Ooh, holy shit, I think it worked. little bit more. Holy shit, I think that actually worked. Oh my god, we did it! Holy shit, it worked! Oh man, sometimes you gotta weld some shit to some shit. Woo! I got my workout in today. Went a little overboard, straightening up a very dented and messed up bumper, but we got it pretty good. It's definitely good enough for a rat rod. We were trying for real nice. We would have bought another one, but what I'm going to do whenever I install this is make sure I use these mounts, so if for some reason down the line we do find a good bumper, unbolt this baby, put the other one on. All right, let's get to mounting. Also, I have an eagle eye. You might notice some airbags in the background. We might play with those a little bit too. God, I keep adding shit to the list and we gotta get stuff done, but let's keep going. I decided to get way too cute with this. I ended up cutting the bumper down, took 4 inches out of it, tucked it tighter, tucked it in this way so it fit right against the fenders. Way too much work, honestly, for some rat rod shit, but gotta do what you gotta do. Bumper's mounted and welded. I need to grind it though, because it's got welds all over it now. Let's do that real quick. Then we're gonna mess with some airbags, I think. And the air compressor kicked on, of course. I made my own bag cups because I want them lower. Stock ones are 8 inches long, well, 24 inches long. So I gotta make my own. And what's cool with these is I can still cut probably another couple inches off of this if I want it lower whenever we get it all up in there. And I can even cut this down too if I needed to. But the caddy has weird bag cups. The bottom is real small and the top is real big. So this is a standard bag cup, and then I had to make the bottoms. This is actually supposed to be the bottom of them, but I drilled out my fitting hole so that I have less room here because the bottoms are usually this tall, twice that high. Whenever we're completely down, we should be pretty good. But I have a feeling whenever we start fine-tuning stuff, we'll cut this some more, but let's go throw them in there and see what they look like. Oh God, that's heavy. Damn, that's heavier than I thought it was. Check those out. They sit in there better than the springs. I don't even have any pressure on them yet. I was gonna throw some lines on these, but I'm gonna have to drill out a hole here because the fitting is offset. They're never straight in the center, and I want them to come out over here. So I'm gonna drill this out a little bit and then put it back on the ground. The main reason I wanted to start doing the front bumper, the rear bumper I had to do because I was doing the exhaust. The main reason I decided to go ahead and do the front bumper, not only because we had the rear one on, but I have it jacked up. It's way up. It's easy to do shit that you need to do underneath it while it's up. But now I should be able to put it on the ground and be done with jacking it up for a while, which is huge. My little man just threw up all over the bed. So I have a fun night planned. It's 5 a.m. right now, so I was pretty much done for the night anyway, but we're gonna have to come in tomorrow, maybe mess with the roof. I'm trying not to say roof. It's still roof to me. Come in tomorrow, drill these out, jack it up, see how much we have. I'm not even sure if I'm still running airbags in this. I'm probably going to, but these, I have all kinds of bag kits just laying around, and the rears on this is real easy. The only problem I have, the fronts on the caddy are super funky. I've looked up a couple different people with all-wheel drive bagged Cadillacs, and it looked like everything was made from scratch. I thought originally you could just put a strut style bag in there, which it just looks like a shock with an airbag on it. But when I got to looking at it, I don't know if that would even work on this because it's the torsion bar setup. So I don't think the shocks on these are your actual suspension. I think they're just shocks. So running a strut bag, shock style strut would even work. The things that I've seen, people put a bag on top of this upper A-arm and then a mount way above it, like way up there. And then you have your airbag suspension off the top of that. And the only kit I saw was like $3 grand just for the front. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. I don't like to do, well, although check out that inner fender. That's not bad. We need to weld it on the inside, but that looks pretty damn good. So I don't know what the plan is. I don't like only bagging the rear ends, but I've done it before. But if you're gonna do it, do them both, because you have to still, so let's say we just wanted to run airbags in the rear of this. You still have to have an air compressor, you still have to have an air tank, you still have to have air management, and all that stuff is expensive and time consuming, and you have to wire it up. So if you have all that set up, you might as well just run the lines to the front, because it's the same as far as like the air management side. It's basically the same for 2 bags as it is 4. It's just 2 more lines to the front, essentially. We could make all that in the front, but boy, it'd be a pain in the ass. And another thing, when I like to airbag stuff, I like it to lay on the ground. And I don't know if this one would ever lay on the ground with the chassis that we have without doing a ton of work. You could have pulled it off whenever Tom had the cab a lot lower, but I never would have fit in this. I'm already going to be running a very short seat because we have channeled it. Even with me raising it up 3 or 4 inches from where he had it, we still have this channeled, I mean, a foot from where it would be the Cadillac, if that makes any sense. So the Cadillac, this would be the rocker, let's say, on the Cadillac, it would be up here normally. So we've still channeled it that much, even with as much as I raised it. What we're gonna do tomorrow, when I get the lines ran and we get it on the floor, we'll see how low it is. And then we need to remember whenever I drop it, I can still probably get 2 more inches out of modifying my bag cups. Can't get it too much lower than that though, because if you go any more, the rear end starts bottoming out. We found that out whenever I jacked it up with no springs in it. But I do think it was bottoming out on the shocks. So we might be able to run smaller shocks and get it a little lower. I don't know. We'll play with that tomorrow. I'm going to go check on my little man, and we will be back. This is going to be another video with 60 hours of work in it, and it wasn't supposed to be. But hey, here we are. All right, I haven't put this thing on the ground yet, but I could already tell just using the jack, trying to get it on the ground, or trying to get it on its wheels, that it's gonna bottom out on the shocks, so we gotta pop them out real quick. We can also, because I kinda like the, why is that in a bind? That should not be in a bind. We can also just raise this shock mount if we have to. It actually wouldn't be super hard to move them either. Cut, lift, done. But you can also just find shorter shocks. Why are you in such a bind? You shouldn't be in a bind. There we go. Okay, maybe it isn't a bind. Shit. Damn, those are heavy duty shocks. Okay, well, shit. Are you still not gonna come out even when you're fully extended? Okay, well, I'm gonna beat the hell out of this and then we'll come back in a second. It's aired up right now and it's actually higher than it was before. So we definitely have maximum lift. We just gotta see how low she goes. I have no idea yet, so I haven't checked it. Looks good so far. Okay, air is all the way down. Now, are we completely down on the bags, or is something not happy and being held up? That's the question. Oh, that looks pretty damn good. All right, I'm gonna go investigate and see if we got any issues. Not only is it not hitting anything, I was able to reuse these shocks because whenever Tom put the drop coils in, he put a lower shock mount. I just had to loosen it and kind of reposition it a little bit, and it dropped it down about another 3/4 of an inch, and that's all I needed. Sweet! Everything is as low as possible without causing issues. My rear end and the drive shaft are about a 1/2 inch from hitting this cross member. There's a little mount underneath it, and we're not on that, which is good. Do we have bump shocks on this? I assume he probably took them out. I think he took them out, but either way, my bags are fully seated. You can tell they are the lowest point because they won't move. Sometimes whenever you do airbags, you'll get them and it'll be dropped down and then they'll still wiggle. Then you know it's binding on something else. So I assume the bump stops he took out because I think they should be right there, and they are metal to metal. That's actually good. Usually bump stops, even when you take the rubber bushing out, they're still lower than they should be, or higher, however you want to look at it. But those are perfect because if I cut the bump stock mount out, my rear end would be hitting all kinds of stuff. So it's perfect. We did have to give the exhaust a little how you doing with a hammer on the top and the bottom to kind of give it a little oval shape. Gave me a little more room. But she is perfect. Basically, you can see the inner wheel wells. They're about a 1/2 inch from hitting, and I have new rims coming. They shouldn't be any taller than that, but if they are, we will cut that and raise it. I have trailer fenders I'm going to put back here, but obviously I'm not going to do that until the wheels come in. Sweet. Rear bags work. And when it's lifted, it's higher than stock. It is hard to get a good shot in here in my little ass garage, but she's pretty damn low. Not bad at all. Let's see here. Yeah, about a fist. Ha! That's not bad without doing any custom framework and sectioning it as much as I can and still get in the damn thing. So I'll take it. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do next? The roof. I think I want to start messing with the damn roof, sorry. Oh, it's going to be a bitch, but let's do it. Let's see. So once I get that on there, I'm okay with it sitting outside for a week or so while I wait on parts. So let's start figuring out what the hell we're going to do with this hood. Check this out. For when you don't know how wide to make your hood brace or your roof brace, it's technically a hood, I made it adjustable. Just so I can get it up there, make sure I know exactly where I want it, tighten the bolt down, and then take it out and weld it. I'm so friggin' smart. All right, let's keep going with this stupid thing. Oh, this roof brace was tricky. Not only because we stretched the cab, but we had to stretch the roof brace because I had to move it from being in the middle to more in the back to help us with our transition here. And just getting it side to side and level was not easy. A lot of little grinding here and there and finally got it. You don't always need a brace across the roof, but since a Ford is shorter in the front, or higher in the front, shorter in the back, and then it curves, it's hard to try and get that curve right without something here to kind of guide it. Now, technically, I can make this from scratch if I wanted to, and then just make everything fit to this. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but yeah. Let's keep going. Well, started on the roof. It's actually not looking too bad. I don't hate it. This is going to be a big project. There's no way we're going to do all this in this video. But I wanted to get kind of a solid start on it. That should go right there. And then have a sheet metal piece come up here and meet it. Not too bad. The only thing is, I've cut out the body line that I wanted to keep in the hood. But I don't know how to do it because it sinks down like 1.5 inches, and with all the bracing, there's no real room for a big indent like that. So I'm not sure how we're going to do that just yet, but it's not looking too bad. I think what I might do, instead of trying to roll this edge over, I might cut this across here and just have it meet up to the back. So it'll kind of be like a sharp drop off. I think that might look cool. My kid just threw up again. Second night in a row. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the video. This might be the end. We'll find out together the next clip that I film. All right, wife and kid are both sicker than hell, but they fell asleep, so it's time to get back to work. I came in, I started messing with the roof, and I realized I need to cut this back panel to raise it up. It'll be a lot easier to make this transition back here. And I'm worried when I cut this, there's a lot of structure in here. I'm worried when I cut this, the cab can kind of move around, even though I have it braced up really well. I'm worried this gap would change where we lengthened it. Even though we're working on the roof right now, I need to fill in the sides of the cab. I don't have to go all the way down, but I need at least here so that this doesn't want to walk on me. Just another thing to do a thing to try and finish another thing, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm gonna tack that a little bit more, then we're gonna go do the other side, then we can cut the back of the cab. Okay, we are dissecting the shit out of this cab. Woo! Ow, that fucking hurt. Look at this contraption here. I didn't like how the rear of the cab tilted in way more than the front, which is normal for them. You know, they have like a teardrop look to them. But since we widened it, it made it much worse. So the back of the cab was like 6 inches narrower than the front. And it was bugging me a little bit before. I didn't really realize it until I cut the back off how bad it was. So, cut my brace in half. I couldn't spread it by hand, so we got some straps, pulled it, got it about, I don't know, 2.5 inches wider. It's still square this way and this way, which is nice. The only thing is I don't know how much it's gonna bounce back whenever we undo the straps. So let's find out together. Oh, she jumped a little bit. Oh, come on. Oh, this is hard to do one-handed. All right, give me a second. This side didn't jump as much as I thought. This one shouldn't be much at all now. Oh, yeah. Okay, sweet. Now, if you look down the side of it, it's much closer to being the same width. This is still too straight. It should be more curved, but we can fix that later. That was a waste of like an hour, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Let's put all these pieces back up here and start fitting the damn roof. All right, we had to change some stuff here. I didn't bother filming it because it was a pain in the ass. Whenever I cut the back of this cab off and then raised it all the way up to the roof, it looked horrible. It was like 4 inches and it made the cab look, even though the cab is technically chopped, because your stock roof has a big bubble in it. We've probably chopped it 2 inches because we're going with a flatter style roof. But this being all the way up at the top looked horrible. So I put a piece of exhaust there to give me some curve for now. And I'm putting this back, and now I've only raised it 3/4 of an inch here, so it's not too bad. Where's my tape measure? Son of a bitch. I just had it. Where'd it go? I'm not even trying to finish the roof today. I just want to get it pieced together so we can get an idea on it. And just doing that has been a pain in the ass. Probably should have just bought one somewhere or a whole other cab. They're just ungodly expensive. I hate to buy a whole cab just for a roof skin. Okay, you need to go right there. Ooh, I got it perfect. Damn it. Oh, it moved. Son of... Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's perfect. Stay right there. Oh, that's perfect. Let's keep going. Oh, God. I have to know when I'm doing too much, because I'll never get a video done and just work a million hours. I have to be done with the fact that the skin is done. I just have it bolted on now. I don't have it welded on. That way I can take it off and straighten it a little bit more. But it is fitting really good. Everything is solid other than this back piece, but that won't be very hard. Okay, perfect. Wow, it looks really good too. I ended up changing up the back, dropping it down a little bit. This thing is chopped. From the pictures I've seen of other 64 Fords, these have a big bubble in the middle and they kind of go straight back here. And I think since we took the bubble out of it, I think we've chopped this at least 2 inches, maybe 3. I'm gonna pull it outside tomorrow so we can get a good look at it, finish up my Blazer, bring it back in, and maybe knock this thing out in another video or 2, which is huge. Let me show you how this roof looks. Check that out. I love it. About halfway through, I started hating it. Raising this up, I started really hating it. But I ended up lowering it even more from before. I think it was 1.25 inches. It's 3/4 of an inch now. And I just feel like it flows better being up that high. And then we don't have to have such a big curve there. It'll just go straight down. I'll trim this back to here, straight down, easy peasy. And the only bad thing is the new metal is so thin that even just these tack welds that I've done have already warped it and moved it. I welded this piece in here and this whole thing flipped up. This whole edge was up this far just because I wanted to warp in. So I just got it tacked right now. And then like I said, it's just bolted in with a bunch of sheet metal screws right now. So I can take it out, square it up. I want to straighten up some of these dents that were in the hood before I even started messing with it. I mean, it was a $50 hood. It wasn't great. But I need to trim that front edge a little bit too. Whenever I finally get it welded on the cab, then I can burn those welds in a little bit more. It won't be able to move as much with it being solid here on the edges. Right now, there's nothing really solid. But you still got to take it real easy with that super thin metal because it can just go wherever it wants. Also, I want to grind all the paint off of it. I don't really like it that it's white. It doesn't need to be, but this edge ended up working out pretty damn good. I'm really happy with it. And then here, where it's lower, I'm just going to take a piece of sheet metal and run right up into it like that, so it'll be flat. God, we got a lot of stuff done in this video. This video is going to be 1.5 hours long. Check that out. I love it. It's still has crown, just not as much. I like it better flat like that. I like it. I'm really happy with how it came out. And let me tell you, 4 hours ago, I was like, we just need to throw this shit in the trash. I don't know. I was trying to make these body lines from the hood work, and that was a giant waste of time. They kick down too much. See how big that is? That's like a full inch kick down and maybe more whenever you curve it like that, maybe 2 inches. And there's just no way to get that into the roof. So I shouldn't even bother with that. But yeah, look, you can see this corner actually lifted from welding it right there. So we'll have to beat that down a little bit. All right, tomorrow we take her outside, air it up, see how it looks, air it down, and call this a video. I think we have to figure out how to do front bags because I really want to bag the whole thing now after I did the rear. I'm done. This shop quite literally might be the worst it's ever been. There is shit everywhere. I got to have my cleaning lady come and go to town because holy crap. It's bad right now. It is bad. We've been thrashing. Okay. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll take her outside.
The next day.
Check her out. Got it outside the shop. I'd rather have it on level ground, but, you know, can't do much right now. I was going to drive it down to the parking lot, but if I let the air down at the parking lot, I can't air it back up. So that'd be a problem. Look how high that damn thing is. I really like how this roof is shaping up. Definitely still needs some work, but doesn't look too bad. Right now it throws your eye off because it's white, but whenever we get it all ground down in bare metal, it'll look good. Yeah, see, just a little gradual curve in it. I might flatten it a little more in the middle. Technically, I can go down about another 1/2 inch before it hits my brace, so I might cut this and bring this down just a little bit more. That's why you tack weld shit. Don't weld anything solid until you get it outside and look at it. It doesn't look bad right there at all, but from the rear, it looks a little more curved. It's perfect in the front and the side, though. Can't believe we made a friggin' hood work as a roof. Wow, that thing looks chopped too. I'm gonna have to put a picture up of a stock one, but let me tell you, the stock one has like a bubble to it, and now it just looks more streamlined. Even though we technically raised the back a little bit, it still looks chopped. And we might end up taking that out. Now that I'm looking at it, I might end up bringing this all the way down, maybe, because my roof brace is adjustable. I can still move it because I cut it loose. It's actually just sitting there. I got wheels coming. I got a brake clip coming. Didn't want to get too cute with it right now. My brake pedal shaft is zip tied, so it can't slide off, but still wouldn't want to take it for a drive with that. I had to order a stupid little $30 clip from GM. I'm supposed to get in a couple days. And I don't want to do anything else until I get my wheels here, my new wheels and tires, because they can kind of throw stuff off. They should be the exact same size, but just in case, I thought my blazers were the exact same size, and they ended up being like about an inch taller, and that kind of threw some stuff off when it came to building the floor. Let's airbag her down real quick, and we got to figure out what to do with the front bags. We got to do it. I just got to maybe contact a company that makes them and see if there's something I'm missing, because boy, the kits I've seen, you have to replace basically everything and then make essentially your own A-arm mount and then a new mount on the frame. It's a whole thing. I'll have pictures up for you, but let's let the back down a little bit, see how she looks. All right, let's drop her down. That shit never gets old. Goodness, oh my God. Oh, wow. My exhaust is about a ½ inch off the ground. The exhaust dump. That looks great. Oh, that makes me happy. We gotta back the front. Oh, check that out. I'll be honest, I love the tail dragger look. It's not low enough for titanium blocks, I don't think. Is it? No. Geez, I forgot we did the exhaust. We had so much other shit going on, I completely forgot. We mounted the bumpers too, holy crap. Boy, that exhaust looks bitchin'. That is perfect. Oh man, I like this truck a lot. God, we've been working on this thing a ton. I hate waiting on parts, but sometimes you gotta wait on parts. We're gonna play with something else. Probably gonna cut that Miata up. Actually, I'm gonna finish my Blazer and then cut the Miata up, or do both. That would work too. We have got to do something with this laser. I had a company send me a badass laser, CNC laser, and it has been sitting here for almost a week. So while that's out, I'm gonna clean the shop up and open that baby and see what we can do for cutting some shit with a laser. It's a laser welder, laser cutter, laser rust remover too, where you can burn the rust off. Super excited about that because we have a lot of rusty shit. Sweet. I just realized, because we've been filming so much shit happened in this video. Not only did we get the bumpers mounted, the exhaust done, the roof, God, I'm like over pronunciating roof now. The roof, almost done. I forgot I re-chipped my tooth. It's so, I don't even want to show you. It's so bad. I have to get it fixed now. It was like a really bad chip. Now it's like broken half. God, I mean, I know I'm white trash, but it's getting real bad when you're not having a tooth at all. Minus all that, minus the tooth situation. I'm very happy. Damn, she looks good. God, we've got a lot of shit done on this truck in a very little amount of time. What happens when you work basically constantly and don't sleep? The only time I stopped working in this video was when my kid and wife were basically puking and pooping water, which is always a good time. I'm sure that's coming for me next, knowing how kids are. But I'm so freaking happy. This thing is such a beast too. This is literally like the best chassis you could ever pick. I've heard people using them before. All-wheel drive Trailblazers are a lot more popular than the caddies, but the caddies, boy, if you can find them, just the way to go. So much fun. We might end up putting an intake on this thing too, because I think it would look better, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to go changing an intake manifold when everything's already working, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I can't stop looking at it. I'm so happy. Currently I have a giveaway going on right now for my ASTRO van, bagged, paint job, lots of new parts, ton of fun, could be yours. Go to Caseyscustoms.com, go to the sticker page. There's all kinds of details on there. Any question that you have will be answered in the description of the sticker. If you can't find the question that you have, shoot me an email, caseyscustoms@yahoo.com. Air compressor kicked on. I'm not even in the shop. I'm not even in the shop. It kicked on. Also, Caseyscustoms.com for the coolest merchandise on the planet. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Helps the channel grow a bunch. Make sure you turn your post notifications on. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all the good shit they tell you at the end of videos. Check out some of my other videos. Peace. I love you. Everybody be good out there. The world is crazy these days, so try and love a little bit more. And for God's sakes, if you have a chipped tooth, fix it. Love you. Bye.